fuck once and a half. To be
All right.
meaningful.
So we're live. Maybe I need to fix this.
We just need to be aware of which camera to look into. Camera 1, camera 2.
We'll just let the editor take care of all that.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Right now I'm talking to Facebook, but now I'm talking to you.
Yeah, man. We'll go back and forth. And then yeah. All right. So
we could just look at each other deeply in the eyes.
We could.
Which is what we'd end up doing most of the time.
Either that or sock puppets. That works too. All right. So there's that. Holy crap, man. See, one of these days this will be just second nature. And
yeah, this is the first time we've tried it's not the first time we've live streamed. I like this much better. I like this. This is better than the old way of Jake, tape your phone to that stand. And
well, that or when I insulted you by saying, okay, we're going to stand here and here's your apple crate.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 2 apple crates. But anyway, who's counting?
Hey, it's part of the show business. Yep. Lots of short guys have done it.
Oh, yeah.
I like the idea of filming, like the women are always taller than the men in movies, it seems like. So what you do is you build the set with a little trench.
Right.
For the women to stand.
Right.
So that they're the same height. It's crazy too, how that actually happens quite a bit.
All right, let's see here. So the title will also be what I'm saying about the podcast, just to make Facebook happy. And thank God we can, the live stream is recorded and we can actually, we can edit it. Like we can trim all this trash off.
We don't edit anything. This is totally raw.
It is definitely live without an ed.
Waxing Cinematic live.
And next, and gee, Lord, I don't want to do a test. I just want to go live, man.
Yeah.
Hi, Facebook Live.
Testing is for cautious people. And
we are not, man, not at all. So
I wonder if anybody's actually watching.
I don't know, man. Same thing over here. Hmm?
You should move it to that screen.
Oh, that's a good idea, Jake. Why are you not? Oh, you are a producer. That's good, man.
Wow.
All right. End the test broadcast. Just end it. Oh, my God.
No, it was going live.
No, that was a test.
Oh,
dude, why? Yeah, return to page.
Look, is that one viewer? Hello, one viewer.
Yes, I guess.
Keep watching because we're going to actually talk.
We're
professionals. We've been doing this for a long time.
Yep. All right. So let's just go live. We're just going to leap into this.
When did we start Waxing Cinematic?
We started Waxing Cinematic back this same year that I married Michelle, which was 2014.
Wow.
Oh, and you know what else? Hi, and welcome to Waxing Cinematic. Once that record button is pressed, I go into radio mode.
He's available for hire for any voiceover work that you might need.
Yeah,
he
man.
Can do toothpaste commercials.
That's right. Yeah,
he'll do anything. He's a whore.
I will. I mean, toothpaste. Was it denture cream? The hemorrhoid cream. You name it, man.
Yeah.
You pay me money, I'll say almost anything.
Almost.
I don't. Yeah,
he has some standards.
Yeah, yeah. So, welcome to Waxing Cinematic, the first episode in 2021.
The first episode in over a year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When was our last episode?
The last time we were physically together in a room was 2019.
Wow.
Yep.
It's been a long time.
Yep.
Got a lot of pin-up repression there that we have to work
through.
I
thought you'd been doing pin-ups for money. I was like, wow, man.
No, pent-up.
Pent up.
We haven't been physical in over a year, so it's all pent up. I was making a marriage joke.
That's funny, man. I got you, dude. It's like, what was the movie that we were watching? Which is on my list to talk about, which there's so many computer monitors. I guess I'll pull up my list on this. And because I guess it's not in frame. Jake can tell me if it is.
Oh, it's frame enough.
There you go, man. But yeah, we were watching Nobody, and so there was a.
That's the wrong direction. There we go. Now you're.
You know what? It's tough moving the camera in the right direction, you know,
when
at
it's
times.
backwards
So,
like that, because
Yep.
my brain was like pan right.
yeah.
It's,
It's right.
it's like stage left and stage right.
Oh yeah, man. All right, so I'm gonna move this out just a little bit. I know
Okay.
everybody's just gonna be like, "Why?"
So
Not that it's hurting the frame at all, but I just want to be sure it was accurately absorbing our sound waves.
this is where this is what we try to concentrate on. If this
Yeah.
part's right, the live feed with the one person watching,
right?
that's just icing on the cake.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
everybody's been like, hey, why don't you do? I mean, a lot of people. Everybody. I sound like freaking like a politician. Like, oh, I was,
The entire world has been demanding our return to the podcasting arena.
The three people that
Right.
have consistently supported us since 2014
Right.
have been telling us that they wanted us to do this again. And one of my favorite things that we did on Monday mornings back in the day was do the live stream. That was fun.
Right.
Because that's how we got people like Eric and Melange and everything. So maybe, I'm sure they don't even know we're doing this today, but
No, well, I'm about to tweet because that's one of the things that people have been saying Twitter was going to die for years and years and years, but it's still my favorite. Well, Instagram has rivaled it in a way, but I mean, like, here we are broadcasting on Facebook, but Facebook is not my favorite social media medium at all. I prefer Instagram for pictures, but Twitter is how I keep up and interact with people.
I haven't had Facebook since 2007, whenever the twins were born. I
How old are your twins?
They're 3. So how many?
I was just
They'll be 4 in November.
That was a spontaneous test there. So,
Yep, born in November.
Yep.
I won't give the date because I don't want anyone to steal their identity.
Yeah.
I guess the Facebook. I haven't missed it. Like there are certain people that I don't probably feel as connected to, but I wasn't really talking to those people that much anyway. So everybody else I'm connected to in some other way in real life or on some other social media platform.
Right.
So I haven't missed Facebook. I just never enjoyed it. The Twitter I do enjoy, but it's all in what you make of it. Like once you learn that if somebody's bothering you and you're not having fun, you're not required legally or under any spiritual law or any law from another plane of existence to follow or have anything to do with those people.
Right.
Twitter is more fun if you cultivate it. See, I get a lot of really funny people on my timeline that make me smile, and then I get like a lot of movie fans. I get a lot of. I'm a big horror movie fan, and
you get a lot of Jake Allman fans as well.
Oh.
You're very prolific on there, man. You're always tweeting.
No, I haven't been that lately.
Really?
Yeah, not as much lately. I think you just stalk me every now and then.
I do.
Every now and then he goes at Jake Allman, which is my Twitter handle. If you want to follow me,
yeah,
I'm one person on YouTube. I want you to follow me right now.
And and it's funny. I mean, like we are old enough, or we hopped on the Twitter bandwagon early enough that we could actually have our names without any numbers.
Oh,
because like at John Fouts, you find me at Jake Almond. And I remember one time I was trying to promote the podcast, and I said at Jacob Almond. So God only knows who got the credit for that. So, yeah, 2 more.
There
followers.
are a lot of Jacobs and Jakes.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not a unique name, John, but Fouts is.
Everybody,
everybody wants to say Faust.
Yeah, just like the play about someone selling their soul to the devil.
Yeah,
I try to look innocent when I say
but
that.
I don't think almonds. Now around here, almonds pretty common.
Yeah, I wonder
where are the Foutses originally from. This is not.
I think it's cinematic. Germany, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, and my question to you is that if there's almonds, is there somebody with the last name Peanut?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's people with the first name Peanut.
Yeah.
I'm sure, or at least a nickname.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how they got that one. So basically, for the people that are listening for the first time on the podcast, whether you're getting it off of TalkShoe or whether you're getting it off of Stitcher or whatever you're getting it off of, iTunes, whatever, or if you're tuning into the live feed now or later as it's posted to YouTube,
right?
Mostly we ramble on for an hour.
We really do.
But we try. What we always come back to is the movies.
Right.
It's all about the movies.
So speaking of movies and us just doing whatever, we're going to do whatever we want to with reckless abandon today.
we do sometimes pose a topic.
So that's the Millennium Falcon hyperdrive failing. Are we legally able to do that? Probably not. That's why we're going to talk over it.
I was listening to it.
But I thought that would be kind of funny. Wake up the house, scare the dogs, and just kick this off because this is momentous. And let's see here. Maybe we should go ahead and call Oz on the phone.
Okay.
Just for kicks, man. Davis Osborne, who I have called Oz since he was the bad guy in a movie that I directed back. When was that, man? It was back when we were all in prison shooting the movie.
I mean, it was 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
Because I think it was 2004. Because Heather and I got married in 2005. And that money that we made on that movie helped us get married. So.
You're right. Yeah. So back to Davis Osborne. Davis has been doing independent feature film for quite some time. He's a really good actor. He's been in a lot of heavy metal videos. He is. I think he gets typecast. That's why in one short film I cast him as a nice guy, but he is rarely cast that way normally, even though he is a super sweetheart.
He reminds me, and I love character actors. But character actors typically they're character actors because they get typecast because they have a look. And you're like, if I need somebody that type of character, that's who I'm going to call. There was that guy that played in like The Crow and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. He reminds
that gravelly voice.
Yeah, he reminds me of somebody. He doesn't look and sound just like that guy, but I'm saying he just kind of reminds me like he could play characters.
Well, it's like Bullet Tooth Tony. I can't remember the actor's name, but from all the Guy Ritchie movies, and he was always this thug who cracked me up, man, because he was just so robotic yet humorous, very very deadpan humor. But anyway, so I guess it was last summer. Oz disappeared just dropped off the radar. We knew he was down in Atlanta shooting some movie. It was on
everything's getting shot in Georgia these days.
Oh yeah, but it was on a very large back lot, so I knew it was positive, but it was something he couldn't talk about due to contractual,
embargo.
So he would post some pictures and stuff, which was cool. But anyway, so come find out, he was the bad guy in The Conjuring 3. Have you seen The Conjuring 3?
I did. I watched it July 3rd. I watched it. I was already excited because I knew that he was going to pop up in it.
Yeah.
I loved the first two when they came out, and I've seen all the spin-offs.
James Wan is phenomenal, and the director, and why I can't remember his name right off. I thought I'd make.
He's the one who did the La Llorona. I pronounce that right? The Curse of La Llorona.
Yeah, right.
Is that right?
Close enough, man. Close enough. People can look it up.
I apologize.
But Oz was saying what a fun time he had on the set working with this guy, and Oz was so excited that he was the main bad guy, and he was hoping that they would kind of do a spin-off show, kind of like they did Annabelle, except it would be his character, which was Jack. No, it was John something. Again, man, I think I make good notes, and then I fail. John Beckett. So anyway, just like our friend Randall Carlton, who was in Reign of Fire, his stuff, for the most part, got, it wound up on the cutting room floor.
That happens a lot.
It does. And but Randall didn't even know about it. He's like, hey, let's go see me in this movie and stuff.
That happens a lot too.
The director, I'm pretty sure, and Oz will clarify, but it was like, Oz was called by the director and he said, dude, I'm sorry, but your character is gone. But we want to have you down for reshoots so that you can still be a part of the movie. We want you in this movie, which was nice, man.
Dude, I can tell you that happens so often.
Yeah.
That and a lot of people don't get that phone call. Like a lot of people don't even know. But I'll tell this story to Oz actually.
Yep. This kind of sounds radio-like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
With see if our caller is standing by.
Hello.
Oz, what's up, man?
Yeah, how's it going, fellas?
Good, good, man. This is
long time no speak. Oz, what's going on, man?
Just had my cigarette, my coffee, and get a glass of Ovaltine because I saw about healthy choices.
Correct, man. Correct. So I was just we were talking about The Conjuring 3 briefly, just that, you were the main bad guy, a character named John Beckett. And then you wound up on the cutting room floor, as we were also discussing Randall Carlton, who was in Reign of Fire, and he wound up on the cutting room floor as well. But you were looked after. Randall wasn't. Randall showed up with his friends to see him in the movie, and he had these huge scenes with McConaughey and all this stuff. And then suddenly it was just like he walked on, and then he walked back off, and that was pretty much all that was left in the movie. But you were looked after, man. So you want to share a little bit about your experience, just anything that you can share about, Chavez, how he looked after you, or just being in a major movie franchise and what it was like seeing your face on the big screen.
Yeah, but by God's grace, and it's been a complete 2-year journey as not only as an artist but as a human being, going from this major character in this film to getting the phone call from the director saying, this is the worst phone call I've ever had to make, and to tell me that the script had changed and the character was no longer there. That day, I'll probably never forget that day, because I was supposed to go to lunch with a friend. I was at her house. I took the call and went outside and came back in, and she looked at me and she said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I'm not in the movie anymore." And she said, "I hate this. Are you okay?" And I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "I think I need to go home and cry." And that's what I did. I went home and cried. and I laid on the floor for about the next 2 weeks, just thinking, why did I go through this amazing 2.5-month process of something I had worked 15 years for, to have it all be of nothing? That's the only way I could look at it at the time.
Right.
And, but the director and I had really kind of formed this really cool relationship, and we became friends through this process. And to where I trusted him and he trusted me. And my character was his creation. So I think it hurt him as much as it hurt me to say goodbye, or we'll see you somewhere down the road to this character. And so he was kind enough to say, "Nope, you're not out of it. You're part of this family," is what he told me. Mm. And so it was in the fall of last year that I received a text on a new phone saying, "I need your email address." And I didn't have it plugged in, and or who it was, and I wrote back and I said, "New phone, who this?" He said, "Is this Davis?" He said, "It's Shavs." He said, "Why am I not in your contact list?" He said, "You need to fix this now." And I was like, crap. So I immediately sent him my email address, and he said, "Here, I need you to drop some dialogue into this." I forget what they called it. It's like a cartoon story.
Oh, like an animatic?
So, yes, animatic. So I dropped some voiceover in, and we talked on the phone, and he said, gave me some direction, do this, do this, do this for me. And I sent it back to him, and he wrote back, and he said, "You're in the movie." So it was a little hard for me, because it's very humbling, of course, but I couldn't have had a better first Hollywood experience with this crew and this cast and this director, because they are all so kind and just caring, and they not only care about the art, they care about the ones that are making the art. And Shavs took it upon himself to say, "You're not out. You're still going to be in this, and you're going to be in this in a big way." Because I even said to him, I said, "You could have brought me back as, cop number 3 or 5. And he said, "No, that's not how this goes." And he said, "You're too good for that." And he gave me a really kind of cool, iconic scene, I think. So,
yeah, I do too. So when I was already on board with another Conjuring movie because I liked the first two. I'm a big horror movie fan, and we had watched them. We had bonded over a couple of friends. Like the first time my friends Lindsay and Logan came over to the house, we watched the first Conjuring movie. And so we've seen them all. So we were wanting to get together and watch The Conjuring 3. And we had already planned on that. But when I first heard they were going to make it, because, we weren't going to the theater during the time. And then Warner Brothers struck that deal with HBO Max to put their stuff on HBO Max like the day of. So we had already made plans like when The Conjuring 3 comes out, we're going to get together and watch it. Well, then I find out, I watched the trailer the day the trailer dropped, and there's Davis in the trailer. And I was like, I know that guy. Like, that's awesome. I got really excited. And so we were like, so here's this movie series. This has never happened to me before where I was already a fan of something, and there I see a familiar face of somebody that I've actually met. And so I was excited, man. I had no idea any of the behind the scenes stuff. I actually didn't know how big, but I saw you in the trailer, so I was like genuinely, I was more on the edge of my seat waiting for Davis to pop up than I was anything else in the movie. So I'm like, okay, when's Davis coming in? And then, man, you did have a really good scene. I will say your scene, and it was effective because the two people that were watching it with Heather and I had never met you, so but your scene did affect them, so I wanted to tell you that.
So was that your actual voice? Did you do like Disney and have you?
As an actor,
Yeah.
Of course.
So was that your real voice, your singing voice, or did you have like a singing double like a Disney princess?
No, unfortunately, that's my original my own voice. And, we shot that scene probably, oh my God, over 30 times.
Really?
And the director, I asked him during one part of it because I was trying to get in that space, and Shabs was actually on set, and I looked at him and I said, "Hey," I said, "Is the actual soundtrack going to be playing like on a radio or something like that?" He's like, "No music, just you."
Dude, you killed it though. You killed it. It was really, really eerie and cool to see you, and I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I appreciate that much, man. It's like I said, John knows a little bit about it. It's been a roller coaster ride. I'm very thankful for it. When I first got cast, I've seen horror movies and things like that, but I don't watch a lot of them.
Right.
And so when I first got this, I heard of the Conjurings, of course, but I'd only seen clips. And so I called my friend Candy, and I'm like, "What is this? Is this movies and cuss words?" And she's like, "No, this could not be a more perfect horror movie for you to be in." She said they fight the demons with the Bible and Jesus and God.
Right. And that was something you told me that they that a lot of people feel like this is like for the Christian arena, especially I guess the Catholics and the demon slayers, they feel like this is their Avengers, right? This is their superhero, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like there's I don't know if you've ever seen The Exorcist, but it's got a reputation depending on which side of the Bible you're on. But the priest, there were actual priests in The Exorcist that were real priests, not the main two, but all the other priests were like real Georgetown priests, and they said, "Hey, we're gonna make this movie. We're gonna shoot it here anyway. Would you be in the one guy who plays the piano in the party scene with Ellen Burstyn and everything?" That guy is a real priest, so he continued teaching at the college after that, and he was like, I was in this exploitation film, but it probably did more to draw people to church than any other horror film.
Yep. The Exorcist, an evangelical tool. That's funny, man. No, I was just saying The Exorcist, an evangelical tool. Carry on, man.
Yeah. No, they brought in priests to bless the studio a lot before we started filming that first day, and then in the original script, there was a huge church that they built it was amazing. It was beautiful. And it had this big altar and this big tree growing up through the middle of it. And I shout out to crew. There's some amazing behind the scene artists that please stay for the credits. Because what they built inside of this soundstage was amazing. And the day before the day of we shot in the church, they brought the priests back to bless the set. And that was a really cool thing for me. Just knowing that, that they not only took this story, art-wise seriously, but they took it kind of, faith-based and what it is seriously. So,
well, and going back to your point about the sets and everything, it's the thing that happened to you. It is unfortunate. It happens a lot and that there are a lot of big actors, a lot of small actors, a lot of crew members and set designers and costume designers and writers who see their blood, sweat, and tears get cut. Either through the writing process or through the editing process, and it's like somebody put the effort into all that stuff. So anytime there's whether it's a producer's choice or whatever the case may be, to change things, it leaves somebody's work on the floor, never to be seen sometimes. And
I think that was one of the things that freaked me out the most in that church scene. I roamed around set when I wasn't supposed to, and like I would go places that they told me not to go. Because it was my first time there. I wanted to see what was happening.
Right.
I wanted to ask questions.
Right.
And so I had roamed onto the church set and was taking pictures, which I wasn't supposed to do. And then these guys were putting in this floor, this like false floor with wood and stuff. And for me, I'm just like, hey, what's that? What's that for? And he said, oh, that's a floor that Lorraine will fall through. And he said, we hope we get it in one take. We have enough wood for two, but we really hope we get it in the first one. And I said, is it expensive? He said, every take will cost us about $40,000.
Good grief, man.
Damn.
Because of the wood and
right.
and the design and everything that he has to be put into that.
Yeah.
And and that's another thing that just kind of blew me away was that beautiful church ended up it's scrapped, not even in the film. So.
Yeah, because I've seen so many, as I'm searching for you and your character, the original character, I've seen so much behind the scenes and different things that people, that were changed in the movie. And one was the altar, like you were talking about with the tree and there was like a goat or some, like a lamb or something in there. And yeah.
So let me ask you this, Davis. You've seen the final film, right?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much of your part got rewritten into the witch or whatever the villain of the movie now? Like how much of that, or did they just scrap it all and redo it?
It's so funny because the original, you sit down for a table read before you start filming, and the script changed so much from that to what was on screen.
Right.
And even my character, I saw scenes in the movie where that was my scene, but they had gone in and put another character in that scene. Not necessarily the witch, but you guys know they call him the linebacker, the big naked guy in the morgue?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That reminded me of that reanimator.
When he shows up at Ed's house.
Yeah.
That was one of my scenes, and it was the first day that I shot with Shabs, the first day on set, and I had to come up the stairs, face Ed, Patrick's character, and then he kind of pushes me back with the rosary, and I talked about him being such a technical director. It was so funny because that was the first day I shot, and I was scared to death. That was the biggest thing I'd ever done. And I'm standing down at the bottom of these stairs, and all I'm hearing over the intercom from Shabs is, Davis, why are you standing like that? Davis, why are you moving your hands like that? Davis, put your shoulders back. So we shot about 8 takes, and then I went back to my makeup tent, and my stunt coordinator was there saying, Davis, ass out, shoulders back. And I went back to the makeup tent, and my makeup artist was like, "What's wrong, Davis?" And I was like, "I don't know what he wants from me." And she said, "Go ask him." And I said, "What?" And she said, "He's right up there in Video Village. Go ask him." And that was one of those moments of like, oh my God, go talk to the director of a Hollywood set. You know, I didn't even realize the position I was in at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went, and I went up there, and he turned around and saw me, and he said, "Hey, Davis." And I said, "Hi." And I said, "Hey, boss, can you show me what you like and what you don't like?" He said, "Come over here." He said, "Play back for Davis." And we started watching it. He said, "See this right here?" He said, "I really like this. This over here, not so much." And I think that was what formed our bond in that one moment, because he knew that I respected him enough to come to him to ask him what he wanted. And I knew that I could trust him to let me grow in that process.
It was a collaboration at that point versus him kind of guessing what you needed as an actor and you trying to guess. You guys had a conversation. I've experienced that once, and it was a much smaller thing, but it's important, and I think that's cool, man. That's a cool story.
I think as artists, those are very special moments on whatever medium or level you are at. And because I love it, you know, that you said it's a collaboration moment. It's a shared creative moment of we're in this together.
Yeah. Well, man, you did what you had to do as an actor, in my opinion. You know, you're not in you can't control what you can't control, and you couldn't control what happened to that part, but when you got the chance to be on screen, you were scary. And that was what, as a fan of scary movies, when I see it, I watch movies for different reasons, but some scary movies are just fun. Some are just goofy, and you watch them because you want to see like what went wrong with this movie. Or I want to watch with The Conjuring I may judge something like The Conjuring a little differently than I would like Creature from the Black Lagoon or John Carpenter's The Thing.
Well, Juan set the bar so high with the first one. So.
Or Humanoids from the Deep or something silly, like a silly monster movie versus The Conjuring is like, it's like, hey, they have the budget to make an A-list movie.
Right.
So I'm not gonna give them the same pass I would the guys making something in their backyard for $1,800.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you went on screen and did what you could control, which was make a really creepy scene and made the movie creepier for it. And that's what people that went to go see that in the theater or watched it on HBO, that's what they wanted when they tuned into it. So you did your job.
Yep.
I appreciate that, guys. I really do. It was, I have to say though, when I went back for reshoots, it was a little bit like a walk of shame. And, because I had been there in such a big capacity the first time.
Right.
And so, and even Shafts told me when he offered me the next role, he said, "You're so sweet about it." He's like, "You know, you don't have to come back." He said, "I completely understand."
Yeah.
And as John, you've known me for many years, and Jake as well, but as an actor, you know that's not why I'm in this. I'm not in this for the fame and glory. I mean, that's nice and all, but I'm in this for the art. And and you know, that's not me. I told Shafts, I said, "That's not me." I said, "I'll come back." I said, I'll come back as janitor number 3 if you need me. And because at that point, it wasn't about me. It was about the art and the process and that team of over 300 people around me that had blood, sweat, and tears in all of this. And but when I went back, everybody was so kind about. So we're so sorry, Davis, that this all panned out the way it did, and we're so glad to have you back, and we're excited. And today, if we have a minute, I'll share a quick story.
Yeah, man.
When we were shooting in the not my scene in the hospital and stuff, I did my scene and everything, and Shafts he came out to direct the other actors that were in the scene, and he stepped over to the side of the hospital bed where I was laying there, and he looked down at me and he said, he was directing all the other actors, "Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this." He got over to me and looked down at me and he said, "I got nothing for you." And I said, "You have to happy, boss?" He said, "I'm extremely happy." So he went, and back in we did probably another 10 takes, and he said, "Davis, I'm just going to let you go." He said, "I'm just going to roll," and he said, "Just go over and over and over again, give me different emotions, different, looks." And that's what I did. And so for like literally 10 minutes, it felt like a half hour, but for 10 minutes straight, I did my lines over and over and over. I did them with tears. I did them mad. I did them scary. I did them angry. I did them sweet. And so he finally said, "I've got more than what I want. Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Davis Osborne." And everybody clapped. And so I went to grab my stuff to go back to base camp. And I turned around and he was there. And as socially distancing as much as we could. And he looked at me and he said, "Many more." And I said, "What?" And he said, "We are going to do many more films together." And that meant a lot to me. And just on top of that, I got back to base camp, and our base camp PA, who had been with us on the original shoot, she said, "I heard good things about what you did today." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, me and some of the crew have a little secret text thread going." And that meant a lot to me too, that the crew had said, "Davis," she said, "Davis is over here blowing it up." And that meant a lot to me as well. So.
Well, it came through, man. Like I said, it came through on the screen. Like, you can always tell when somebody showed up and did what they see. I love I love character actors. I love those smaller parts as much as the big parts. And if you didn't have the people, the supporting parts
Right.
along the way, it wouldn't all. It doesn't matter how good their lead performances are.
They are the foundation, and all the links were very strong in the movie, and so yeah, man, you did great. One thing before we let you go, happy belated birthday again. I know I gave you a shout out on Instagram and stuff, and I thought it was kind of cool that Vera also gave you a shout out, and so obviously you left an impression on everybody. Because we don't see that kind of thing very often, where the upper echelon of talent, says, "Hey, I haven't forgotten you, man." So that was nice.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
I don't know of this shout out.
No way, man. Well, I'll find it. It's kind of like that when Chavez, and is that how you pronounce his name? I know you're probably just throwing the nickname out.
No. It's Shabs.
Really?
I called him on set, and
Yeah.
I think it doesn't bother him whether he's Chavez or
Right.
Shabs. But
Right.
We knew him as Shabs on set, and I called him Boss, and
Right.
I think he got a kick out of that. And I would be like, "Hey, Boss," or we were doing the scene in the where Debbie Harry's song is playing inside the house,
Right.
And that was originally my character in that scene.
Yeah.
And where I grab her, and there was some rumblings from some of the younger. The actors were like, "Let's do this, and let's do this, and let's do this, and let's do this." And I could see it in Shab's face, and he was just like, "I need to get a hold of this." So,
Right.
Like, "Can I see my actors over here in the corner, please?" So he brought us all over there. He said, I respect and love all of you all. He said, but I've got a lot of things to get done today. And he said, if you all could just kind of go with what I asked you to do.
Right.
And so I knew what that was, because I'm older. I know what
Right.
it is. And so he went to walk off, and the first AD looked at me and he said, "You good, Davis?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm just here to muscle through." And Shab didn't even turn around. He just threw his finger up and said, "That's what I'm looking for." And he walked away.
Yeah, because all the pressure's on him. He's got to come in.
Yeah,
he's got to come in on budget or under budget, and a little bit of, as ahead of a schedule as you can on those scenes.
Yep, while never letting the Captain Juan down, right? Yeah. But anyway, man, thank you so much for taking our call so early in the morning.
No, I appreciate you guys, supporting the film, and you guys, y'all been on my path a long, long time, and I love you both, and I wish great things for not only Shabs, but the entire cast and crew for this, and please send me that Vera shout out. I had no idea.
Yeah, man.
She's her and Patrick were amazing, and they both were so generous in giving to me because they both knew that I was a small fish getting ready to learn to swim in a big pond.
Right.
And the scene where I'm sorry, I need to let y'all go. All right.
We'll do part 2, man. We'll have you back on. Hopefully, if we do it later in the day, maybe you can actually come in and be physically present.
Yeah, I'll get my makeup team and hair people.
No,
You can use Jake's. You see how pretty Jake is.
I'm gonna bring in a hospital bed. I want you to do it from the hospital bed.
I'll reenact it all.
No, I have friends at a funeral home. We'll just go do it in their morgue.
Oh God.
There's killer reverb in there, man.
Just a heads up, I think there's going to be some stuff on the Blu-ray DVD, is from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And about the original My Sweet Demon. And,
right.
I'm definitely going to buy it so I can.
The audience will get this, especially the ones that really wanted that.
Right.
To see that in the film.
And that's a big response online on social media. People wanting your character back.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to buy that so I can see it. I'm curious, will there be any sort of alternate cut? I know they do that on video a lot.
I don't know. I'm so new to this whole bigger process because even John Faustus asked me about the Snyder Cut and things like that, and I don't know if a studio, especially since this is a universe, if they would allow that because I mean it has to stay within that medium, within that world.
Yeah, and you're right. And I haven't seen any alternate cuts of other movies.
What about a multiverse, man? Jump on that bandwagon.
But I know it's not unusual. Yeah. It's not unusual with time. Especially if there's audience for it, for the studio to release alternate cuts. But you're right. I understand. In The Conjuring, it's like you don't see that a lot with like the Marvel CMU or the Conjuring verse because, like you said, everything's so tightly linked.
Since they have kind of stepped out of making donuts with this film, I won't write off saying that we'll never see this character in some other form or story in the future. So
cool, man.
Man, best of luck to you, Davis. It's been really great talking to you, man.
You as well. You guys have a great day, and Faust, catch me up on that beer shout out.
All right, man. I'll do it.
That's great. You guys are keeping track of this more than I am. So
yeah, dude. All right, man.
If you see stuff, send it my way.
I'll do it, man, and have a good week.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Bye. So that was not really our first ever call-in, because we had Stuart that one time. Yeah, but that is true. Hey, how about hand me the cord that is hanging on a peg on that mic, the speaker stand?
Oh.
Not that one, but there you go.
This one.
Yeah,
I have just a few more minutes, but we can. Heather's gonna teach today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, man. She is teaching piano, and
I promised her it wouldn't be a 5-hour session.
Oh,
we're gonna try to do it more regularly. So.
Yep. And that's normally our style. Is we just kind of lose all track of time. I know you and I both said before, we're just going to keep it to an hour, and then it was like 3 hours later, and then we go out and eat lunch and come back and do another one. So
there might be still times where we could do that, but I thought maybe if we stuck to our hour, we'd have more to talk about the next time.
Oh yeah,
and then on top of that, we lost our one viewer. Maybe people will tune into it.
That, and then of course, this is the first time I've actually been live on Facebook, so. We haven't even been live for that long because we missed the whole. I mean, like when I reached around and double clicked, that was what actually took us to live. And I can only assume that we are live, although there's no comments. So we'll let's see here, and no viewers. So that's all.
Well,
good, man.
The thing is, we
This
didn't
is an
market it.
experiment, man.
We didn't market it at all. Oh, we got our one viewer's back, or it's a different person. I don't know. But we didn't market it, and
Yeah.
when we did this before, we used Stream with a Dot.
Right.
Even
Well,
with
that
our
was-
constant losing our connection all the time.
Right.
We did that like a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden we had people returning. And
Right.
more and more people.
Well, and I mean, we've made friends through that. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Eric, and then Charity Parkerson. There was a few more that were,
Melange.
that they were there every Monday morning interacting with us. So there was like a dozen hardcores, but on some mornings we had 1,200 to 1,500 people watching us stream live. So that was what we're trying to build back to. So,
And I mean, maybe people will discover how amazing we are later.
right.
What? I don't know. We can't really get too deep into anything.
Well, you know what? We saw Nobody the other day, which is
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
What have you been watching for the past year and a
Yeah.
half?
oh my God, for the last year and a half, probably way too much, man. Blew through a bunch of really good TV series that we should probably talk more in depth about next time. But check out Nobody. That was very recent. Bob Odenkirk. It's almost like an 80s version of John Wick, except, I mean, it has a lot of humor in there. So, but lots of good action. But I enjoyed it. Michelle enjoyed it. And we have similar, yet I think I don't mind that 80s violent fare. I think I enjoy that a little more than Michelle. But then, have you seen Bat Kid?
I think I watched that a few years ago.
Dude, I mean, like,
that was the documentary. Right?
that was the documentary about the little kid who his leukemia was in remission. Make-A-Wish said, "What do you want to do?" And he said, "I'm going to be Batman for a day." So they pretty much shut down San Francisco, turned it into Gotham City, and gave this kid an adventure.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man. I mean, like, I'm not going to lie, man. I got misty-eyed a couple times. It's very, very sweet, the fact that so many people came together for a good cause.
Yeah,
So,
that's cool.
what did you think about? Have you seen Loki?
Watched the first 2 episodes.
Yep.
I'm super behind on it because I've been trying to watch it with all the kids and Heather,
Dude, that's
and trying to line everybody's busy schedules
right.
up.
That's 5 people you have to sequester in.
Well,
a room.
not the twins, but with the big kids.
Oh, I got
So
you.
still 4 people.
Yep.
All with different things going on. So
Right.
but we're making it through. We're watching that and the Bad Batch on and
Has the Bad Batch been good?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like all the animated stuff.
Right,
Probably more. I don't know that you've ever really delved that deep into it.
No, I tried back when it was just, what was it, like a 2-minute serial or 1 minute, once a week. I tried getting into it, and that was just
see, the Clone Wars is good. Like
Yeah.
you just have to watch it. Once you get into it and kind of,
right.
it's actually really fun. It fleshes a lot out, and then
Yeah.
Bad Batch has been really, really tight.
Yeah.
The Rebels is my favorite. That's
Yeah.
my favorite of the animated stuff. Loved it.
Yeah. Mandalorian?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about just animated stuff.
I
But-
got you.
but yeah.
I just meant as far as just going down that Disney Plus roster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We watched Mandalorian like
Yeah.
pretty much like when it came out.
And then what'd you
Star
think
Wars
of-
was huge in our house before
Right.
the Disney takeover. So.
Right. But
I mean,
what
as
did
it
you
was-
think about, the whole Luke thing in the final episode?
Oh, I loved it.
So do you think that Sebastian Stan can play Luke? Because
I
he
think
really
he
does.
could,
I think it would be smart, man. I
but
mean,
I haven't heard any official word on that.
Nah, I mean, there's so much speculation, but that would be kind of cool. But he did. He was being interviewed for, I guess it was the Falcon Winter Soldier show, which was also really good. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Yeah, I did. I watched that.
Yeah, but anyway, he was being interviewed, and somebody said, "Hey, so would you play Luke?" And he said, "Only if I got the blessing from Mark Hamill." And somebody queued up something where it almost sounded like Mark Hamill would be fine with it. He was more or less. I think maybe it was even from when they did the Han Solo movie, and
Mhm.
it's just like so at some point you have to kind of replace. But I think Sebastian Stan would do a good job. But
that scene. So I wasn't spoiled on that. Like when I watched that.
Yeah.
You're talking about the season 2.
so when
finale.
did you know that it was Luke, man?
So the season 2 finale is happening,
Yeah.
and we're watching it, and they got those Terminator bots and
Yep.
everything. Everything's going to crap, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's Star Wars.
Right.
Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, there's an X-wing coming in," and
Yeah.
I probably should have known right then,
Oh yeah,
but they've shown X-wings on the show,
right.
So I think my head thought it was Ahsoka. which was really cool, by the way.
Right.
Ahsoka was a
Oh,
character from
yeah.
the Clone Wars,
Yep.
and I really loved that character. So it was really cool to see her in live action.
Yeah.
But so I'm thinking, okay, well, Miss Ahsoka, although we've never seen Ahsoka fly an X-wing, but I'm not thinking Luke Skywalker because
right.
I'm like, they're not going to go there.
Yeah.
But then even when he got out and he's like, I'm thinking,
Dressed in black.
I'm thinking it's. I mean, obviously, I think I actually said a bad word.
Oh.
I was so shocked,
Right.
because I'm like, but there's a part of my brain going, they're not actually going to do that.
Right,
And then he
right.
ignites the green lightsaber, and I
And
was
then you
like,
knew it, man.
oh my gosh! And then that scene was so brilliantly mirroring Vader from Rogue One.
Oh, yeah,
the
man.
way he kind of tore through those robots. The same.
Yeah.
It was very similar. But the whole entire time, I'm going, are they really doing this? Like, it was almost like, am I having a dream or something?
Right.
I was a little kid again.
Oh,
for a
yeah,
moment. Like,
man.
it was really cool because I was that kid that I think even if they had never made any of the Star Wars movies, the original trilogy, it was just so huge
Right.
to me. Like, there's a part of me that goes, maybe it was more magical when it was just those three. But I was always also that kid that wanted to know what other adventures were in this world.
Yeah.
And I think The Mandalorian works because it's a Western, and I love Westerns, and it's episodic, which is something you don't get with TV shows nowadays. Everything's so serialized. So it's like, some people complained, it's like he goes on a different adventure every week. Well, y'all didn't grow up watching episodic television, and it's very obvious that you didn't watch a show until the 2000s.
Yeah.
And you probably never watched anything pre-1999. Because everything until like X-Files and Buffy's X-Files was always kind of a mix.
Mhm.
But like, that type of TV became popular in the late 90s, and everything since then just about has been, unless it's a shitty sitcom, has been very has been very serialized. So here's The Mandalorian and saying, we're doing it's a serial.
Yeah.
The overall storylines continue, but each episode he's going on a new adventure.
Right.
Which was like an old Western. It was like watching Have Gun Will Travel or Gunsmoke or something, where it's something different every time. I enjoyed that kind of stuff. And so you give me that, and you put it through the lens of Star Wars, and you bring in all the legends. Like, everybody's kind of, did Boba Fett survive? We confirmed it. Even though for years fans have kind of speculated that he did.
Right. Yeah.
And I think in a couple of the books they alluded to it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I mean, we loved it. Our family loved it.
Yeah. We watched it. Michelle and I watched I guess we watched season 1 and 2, and then Kate and I started watching it with lunch. And I always introduce TV shows to the kids, like, okay, let's watch an episode, give it a chance, and see if you like it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, man. So then we blazed through that, and that was like, I don't know, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I watch, and most of what I watch when I'm alone, and I'm not with the families. I watch stuff that I enjoy, but maybe not everybody. Like, I watch a lot of Westerns. Been watching a lot of, going back, kind of filling in my blind spot with a lot of the non-Sergio Leone Italian Westerns. So I've watched some really good ones that I was like, how have I never seen this before? And I watch a lot of horror films. So I watch, from all eras, new. But there's 2 in particular by the same director that I want you to watch.
Okay.
Josh Rubin has directed. He did one last year. He did another one this year. The first one is called Scare Me.
Yeah.
And they're both horror comedies, just hilarious.
Yeah.
And Wolves Within, which is actually based on a video game.
Oh yeah, man.
Both of those are fun.
Oh, that is cool.
They are well worth the rental because I know
Werewolves Within. I've already planned on buying that as soon as it's available for digital.
It's available for. I know you can rent it for.
Like $5 for rental or $20 and you can own it forever.
Yeah, I get it.
And it's been getting some rave
but
reviews.
It is worth the blind buy. I'm just saying. Like, it is funny. We laughed. Heather and I laughed, and there was like 2 parts in the movie where Heather goes, "This is such a fun movie." Like, it's just really well written,
dude. And that is, I think that's what too many movies are missing. That was the same thing that Michelle and I both experienced watching Nobody, because it had that. I don't want to say it's anything like Lethal Weapon, but I mean, it would be serious, yet it had its funny moments. And Christopher Lloyd is in there, and he plays Nobody's dad, and it's just, it's fun, man. It's like my Abby's boyfriend and I Landon. He and I were talking the other day, and he was saying that he's been replaying a lot of older video games. And so I brought up Army of Two, 1 and 2. And that has such a cool 80s feel. And then when the third one came out, it was just like Modern Warfare. The characters really didn't, I mean, they were all vanilla. You know,
I just remember the first one because every time you use a computer console, your character just punches the computer.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything's just punching everything,
Right.
and that was fun. Yeah.
But there were so many 80s tropes and Bill and Ted references. And I mean, they just had fun. But
it was a buddy comedy action.
Yeah,
and
man.
we love those
Yeah.
type of movies too.
Yep.
But yeah, Werewolves Within, it's very funny. It actually is like intense, but it's never like, I mean, you could watch it with somebody who's not a hardcore horror fan,
Right.
but if you are like myself, I had a lot of fun with it too. And it was well shot. You could tell that it wasn't a huge budget, but everything they did was within the budget that they had, and everything looks fantastic. And
Yeah.
the performances are fantastic, like freaking great. Like I was thinking to myself, if I had the money and I had a movie shooting right now, I would gladly work with any of these people because they are all funny and they're all just killing it. So yeah, very huge recommend to Werewolves Within and Scare Me, which is the movie he did last year, which is probably a little more on the darker side.
Right.
Really funny too.
Okay.
Like darkly funny, but funny. And that one's on Shudder. If anyone out there has Shudder, if you haven't watched Scare Me yet, you have to check that out. So.
Okay. Well, we should probably wrap it up so you can actually meet your deadline.
Yep, and Heather is a big supporter and always has been. But I promised her I wouldn't stay here for 7 hours.
So you can follow us on Twitter at John Fouts, at Jake Allman, at Waxing Cinematic,
and we will be back to do this again.
Oh yeah, because this was fun, man.
Are we doing it again next Monday?
Let's do it. Let's make it a thing, man.
Unless I have to work. Do I have to work next Monday? I think I might have to work next Monday.
Yeah.
But when I'm past this bullshit where I have to change my schedule around, I'll do it on Monday.
Okay. But I mean, let me know what works for you next week, and we'll fit it in, man.
We'll make something happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't, I'm pretty sure I have to work next Monday. But if I'm working next Monday, so I could be off next Friday because we're going out of town.
Gotcha.
Telling this to the one person.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, what I was going to say was, even if we have to do it over the phone or over the Skype one time, maybe we can do it. But
that, or we could start doubling it up. Like just do it every other week and just do 2 back-to-back every Monday or something, man.
Make something happen. I'll figure out what Heather's exact Monday schedule is. The